are literally shaping the planet.
Purpose is the only pathway to a regenerative future.
We have a choice to stay with the status quo or to change.
What is the point of trying to be just resilient when we can actually innovate?
Thank you to Shadow Ventures, to KP, Nick, Matt, and the entire Shadow team for having me. So for today's presentation, we'll be talking about a healthy, cost-effective job site of the future. So a look at intuitive software and hardware solutions making an impact on safety and efficiency. And one thing I want to know, even though we're talking about jobs of the future, everything I'm talking about today is technology and solutions that are being used today, but are going to play a big role in the future. So I'm not talking about what I would describe as fairy dust technologies that are going to potentially take place at a certain point in time. These are all solutions taking place now. The other thing I want to just kind of start by saying is that with everything I'm talking about today, I would like this to be kind of an informal conversation. So if anybody has any questions at any point in time, please put them in the question box. I would really like to get to anybody's questions as they have them. We don't need to wait till the end. We've got 30 minutes here together, and I want to just be kind of as valuable as I can to anybody who has any questions about what I'm talking about. So quick intro on me. So as Matt said, I'm the Vice President of Construction Technology Innovation for ABC. Some of you may know me as a co-founder of BuiltWorlds, which we started back in 2014. It was a platform built to connect stakeholders in technology and the future of the industry, specifically for contractors, tech companies, and associations, and even some of the venture community. We also produce content and research on the future of the building industry and hosted events. So I started March 9th with ABC, 2 days prior to the pandemic and the national stay-at-home order. So crazy timing. And as Matt kind of alluded to, my role at ABC is to help all those areas: safety and human health, workforce development, everything, even to political advocacy. And as it relates to construction technology and innovation, I'm helping to educate, innovate, and improve our overall collaboration with the tech community to our 22,000 members. And with that, my role is not just construction technology, it's construction technology and innovation, because it's not just about choosing technologies, it's about virtual and collaboration design methodologies, how we transform culture, how we help our contractors get more, get them more armed with the tools and processes to be better suited to use technologies, innovative practices, and set them up for success. So the things I'm going to go through today, and I know we're kind of doing a lot in 30 minutes, going to give you guys an intro on ABC, who we are. We're going to go through COVID-19 technology solutions, what's going on in safety technology, some of the collaboration tools helping overall job site efficiency. We're going to talk a little about virtual reality and robotics, and I'm going to give you kind of a sense of a little peek at what we're doing with our technology alliance. So who is ABC? This is just a high level on who we are as an association. But, as Matt had said before, our heavy emphasis, and especially what I'm doing, is to support our efforts in safety and human health for our contracting members, workforce productivity, technology and innovation, education, and legal advocacy, amongst other things. And, as far as just our overall mission, just advancing kind of the merit shop construction philosophy, encouraging open competition and free enterprise, regardless of labor affiliation. We have 69 chapters across the United States, and within that, we've got, as I mentioned, 22,000 companies that are involved. Most of those contracting companies fall under the mid and small size contractors, which is a little different than other associations, and our breakdown is here. So we've got a mix of everything. A lot of the associations are focused on, maybe it's electrical contractors solely or just mechanical contractors. Our association has some diversity there in that we work with general contractors, electrical contractors, mechanical, specialty, kind of a wide variety. So I wanted to kind of just give you a quick rundown on who we are. I think it's important to note for context, or if anybody just wants to know how to get involved or engaged, you can reach out to me, or you can follow us on social media, sign up for our free newsletter on Newsline, or just look at abc.org. So I am going to now get into what we're covering. So I want to start with the COVID-19 technology solutions. And I think starting here is important because when you're talking about a healthy job site of the future, given kind of the unknown future, I think we have to start with how we are using technology and just different practices to create a healthier job site kind of during these trying times. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the solutions that are helping tracking people on the job site, specifically who's entering and exiting a job site, ensuring the health of employees on job sites, documenting health, which is more important than ever, along with social distancing, how we're ensuring that social distancing, and just monitoring proper PPE gear on the job sites. So here is a bird's eye view of just some of the solutions that are being used today to help during COVID-19. So if we start at the top left, the first two squares you'll see, that is a company called SoberEye. So SoberEye, it's a 1-minute self-test that tests for fatigue, illness, alcohol, drugs, even if you're affected with COVID-19, in a portable and easy-use device with real-time monitoring. This takes an iris scan to get those results, fairly cost-effective, and a solution that actually wasn't born in the U.S. but is coming here and being more utilized on job sites. If you go to the right of that, the right kind of the top, the right-hand two squares on the top, that is a company called Reactech, and that little watch you're seeing on the contractors, that is a smartwatch-like device that is used to capture real-time personal exposure. The watch is a vibrating device that senses when you're too close to someone. So it, for example, will vibrate if you're within 6 feet of somebody, and it will actually track the people you're around. So if someone wasn't, in fact, affected with, with COVID-19, it could go back, look at the data, and see who exactly were you around during that time, and it gives you kind of a good history there. If you look at the bottom left, so just workforce monitoring, that is a solution called Field Control Analytics, and they're just showing a little bit of monitoring health on the job site. So when someone signs in and says that I don't have any signs of COVID-19, it tracks that in real time and asks everyone every single day about that, and just keeps a dashboard of the history there. And then if you look at the bottom right, and sorry, I'm skipping a couple because I want to make sure we get everything. If you look at the bottom right, that is a company called smartvid.io. So SmartVid is tracking two things. Number one, if you see those red boxes, it is ensuring that everyone is socially distanced from one another, but it'll actually flag using artificial intelligence with cameras on the job site if someone is too close to someone, and and then we can, the problem can be solved. It also is tracking if people are wearing the proper PPE gear on job sites, which is becoming important nowadays because with the different rules and regulations coming out, making sure people have proper PPE gear on the job sites is more important than ever. So kind of going a little deeper, SoberEye, as I mentioned, test fatigue, sickness, alcohol, and drugs using a pupil scan. But I think if you look in the middle, you can see this is a simple 1-minute test, and it is a subscription-based service. But I like this just because easy, intuitive, non-invasive. And I think in my experience with construction, the most intuitive technologies are the ones that people are using and the ones that provide quality data without kind of overhauling too much. So this is one I'm a big fan of. Smartvid.io, I mentioned this a little bit, using real-time artificial intelligence to kind of track those things, and not even just the PPE gear. You're also looking at tracking lifts, equipment on the job site, and ensuring social distancing. But the analytics and kind of the data behind what they do on the safety observations and the analytics, their dashboard is really impressive and easy to view. It's been helpful for a lot of companies, both large and mid-size. So again, as far as companies I'm kind of looking at and I'm a big fan of, they're definitely high up there. So Reactech, this was another one I spoke of. So that smartwatch, it's capturing real-time personal exposure to your hand and arm vibration. It's looking at risk across your job site, but the system itself like I said, outside of tracking your history on the job site with everyone, it can tell, it can tell, as I said before, where you've been, who's been exposed to who, where they've been on the job site, take those analytics and send it back to management. So instead of me getting into it, I'm gonna too far into it. I want to show you a quick video on this. For the interest of time. So the next one I want to kind of highlight is field control analytics. So they've been kind of an emerging player on the scene, and what they're doing is really simple. It's just real-time COVID approvals for the job site. Tells you to the exact second when someone filled out their health screening, said that they were okay and approved to go on the job site. They need to get approved every day. But then what they do that's extra impressive is just the workforce monitoring report. So they can actually show you how many, what types of trades were on each job site. They can go to minority stats on the job site, ethnicities, skill status, veteran status, putting it on this dashboard. And what companies are using this for, especially now with diversity and inclusion being a big topic, they are taking a closer look at what's going on all of their job sites. And I like field control analytics because they're a company where data isn't secondary, but the data they're gathering is primary. And so they've really done two things. They've made something very impressive that is for COVID, but they've also made a very clear dashboard on what is going on your job site in real time, looking at man hours, looking at worker demographics, worker emergency contact info, safety training certification, contractor hierarchy, some of the critical data points that people should have. So moving on, kind of on the topic still of a healthy job site, I want to just show you a few more safety technologies. And let's get that. So just highlighting a few other things that I think are interesting when we look at what's going on with a healthier job site. I'm going to start actually in the bottom right this time. So on the bottom right, what you have here is a company called SafeSite. SafeSite is digitizing the safety documentation process. They are not only are they digitizing everything, they're just making it really simple to make sure that all the safety requirements for a job site are there, that your toolbox talk information is in one place, and they even now have come up with a way where they can grade every single job site based on what you put into the system. So they're giving real outputs that is taking predictive analytics into account. There, to the left of that, you have a company, Pillar, and especially now it's what's going on with wildfires out there. I think it's interesting that Pillar takes, it takes a look at what's going on in the job site conditions. So air quality control, looking at things like dust, making sure that anybody who goes on the job site is safe. So in California, for example, where the air quality has gone down because of the wildfires, Pillar is a great device to tell you if people should or should not be on the job site. Going to the left there, so these two squares, drones, I think it's important to note that outside of just being a fun device, drones are being used at a high level to go to places that contractors can't. They are, make sure, they are very much going to the areas that people can't to make it safer for people on job sites, and outside of going to different places that are unsafe to go to, they're able to take photo documentation. If you look below the drone on this slide, you can see what a company like Drone Deploy can do with images coming from a drone that would be not only dangerous, but almost impossible for for someone to actually take. So that is a couple. And then on the top right, I'd highlight, Exobionics is, this is really using what I would describe as Terminator-like technology, but really it's just giving you the ability to use, kind of 10 times the strength to hold tools, make sure you're not getting injured, breaking your back, but allowing you to hold tools in place for longer and lift a significantly more amount of weight on a job site without hurting yourself or causing kind of aches, injuries, or pains. So one of the technologies I want to highlight is Triax. They have an IoT device to track worker safety. What they're doing is not only are they tracking where workers are on the job site, they're also tracking tool utilization, and they do a great job of safety analytics on the job site. If someone actually falls on a job site, it will also notify everyone that someone is hurt on the job site and that it is an important scenario that a supervisor and someone needs to take care of and everyone needs to be aware of. So I'll give a quick video on this in our time, but
when it comes to job site safety and security, one of the most critical components is having full control over who has access to your site. Welcome to the next generation in construction site safety and security with the complete Spotter connected job site solution and all new access control offering. By integrating the powerful core Spotter technology with physical turnstiles, contractors have greater control over who gets onto a job site and unprecedented visibility into their presence on site. This essential technology gives you a higher level of accountability for anyone accessing your site and ensures those who lack proper credentials are prevented from doing so. The Spotter clip serves as a worker's sole badge to get on site based on worker profile, certifications, or time of day. This provides a clear central record of when someone enters, when they exit, and where they're located by floor and zone to account for real-time and historic workforce activity. Unlike other access control systems, only Spotter takes you beyond who...
Sorry, again, just in the interest of time, I want to kind of fast forward. So Pillar, I mentioned before, hardware device that helps with on-site conditions. The one thing I would add to it is it does, it tests a lot of things that are important: temperature, humidity, carbon monoxide, noise, light, pressure. And if anything is off, it sends instant notifications to the supervisors on site to be notified what is going on there. And SafeSite, I wanted to highlight them. Again, this is a simplified safety documentation solution. So for ABC, we have a lot of small, mid-sized contractors who, they may not have the budget of some of the larger contractors. So SafeSite is nice because they do have a free version that is helpful to help you start making yourself more digitized. And they're actually one of the companies that's involved in our inaugural technology alliance, which I'll mention later. But, it's a solution that's simple, intuitive. It's improved safety performance and communication by scheduling and tracking safety actions. So it's something easy to review your safety data. This has done a great job of it. And like I said, to actually give yourself a score, almost a report card, if you will, for how your job is doing, SafeSite can give you some nice insight there. So I'm going to go into job site efficiency. And I think collaboration and site monitoring is a big piece of that. So with what's going on with COVID-19, you have a lot less people on the job site and a bigger need for people to collaborate more off the job site. So I think when you're looking at job site efficiency and what's the future of that, you're really looking at a different way in which we collaborate. So the things I want to focus on, number one, if you look at the top left, I think most people are familiar with Zoom. But still, we don't have it being used by as many people as you might think. So Zoom is now getting more incorporated, ingested into construction. They recently built a partnership with Procore, and you're seeing a lot more contractors, not just the big ones, but the small, mid-sized firms using Zoom as a way to collaborate. And it really is we're using it now. It's one of the simplest, most intuitive solutions out there, but still there are a lot of contractors who aren't aware of it. So I think it's important to note that it is a cost-effective, easy device. Oh, sorry. And then what you have here, so there are 3 different solutions that I wanted to highlight specifically. So 1, 2, and 3, all these solutions, this being Hollow Builder, Struction Site, and Open Space, these companies are all doing something very similar in that they're providing a virtual command center. So Struction Site specifically, they provide a virtual command center that allows you to see side by side when jobs are completed. It also with Struction Site, with that virtual command center, it allows you to walk a job site without putting on virtual reality glasses. You can see in 2D what's going on the job site through a PDF, and you can see what the progress is for all the stakeholders without having to go on the job site. And it's very intuitive, and it's using 360-degree cameras. The other thing, if you I wanted to highlight here. So you see this kind of Ricoh picture. This is a 360-degree camera. This is used by Hollow Builder. So similarly, Hollow Builder is allowing people to go through job sites with a 360-degree camera to show everyone what is going on the job site. It allows people to collaborate without being on the job site, but seeing what's going on in real time and compare, in real time what happened today versus what happened, months ago. So that site monitoring function, why these 3 companies are all doing well, is because we are really in a time where collaboration off-site with all stakeholders is of such importance. So, so here, not to get too into it, but if you look at Open Space, again, 360-degree photos and documentation, this can be done on your cell phone. And if you look at the bottom left, just to show just quick, hey, this is what happened from a certain point in time. And this also makes sure that people get paid. It can say, hey, look, we finished the job. You should pay us. And they do a great job. I know Open Space has done a great job with portfolio management and just making their solution easy and intuitive to use. So I've got 5 minutes left. Are there any questions at all? I haven't seen anything pop up. Okay, I'll keep going. So the other thing, as far as the future job site, and I thought this was important to note, I want to talk a little bit about virtual reality and robotics. So robotics, it's, as I said from the beginning, I want to talk about technologies that are happening on job sites and helping efficiency today. You are seeing bricklaying robots that are helping job sites today, and it is not replacing jobs, it is making jobs smarter. So robots, they don't need to take bathroom breaks. They don't, they don't need to take time off. But as far as what you're seeing on the top left here, bricklaying robots do help, construction, and you still have people making sure that the robot is doing the right things. And then on the bottom, and building the job the right way. And on the bottom right, what you have is, I'm just showing a picture of virtual reality, but what people are using virtual reality for, especially now, is, similarly to what I showed before with kind of the 2D walkthroughs, virtual reality allows people from anywhere in the globe to walk through a job site, but in a more detailed function. They can actually look through different BIM models with VR, go through them collaboratively with other individuals using VR technology, and I'll show a video of that shortly. I want to give you a quick insight of just how robotics is being used, not just for laying brick, but also for transporting materials. So I'll give you kind of a quick insight here for 30 seconds. So here you're seeing what the bricklaying robot is doing. And, this is, again, this is being used on many job sites, and you're seeing the use of this type of robot, this specifically from construction robotics, being increased throughout the United States, especially. And then fast forward over here, and this is another robotic tool that is helping transport materials. So see transporting of just different cinder blocks, but again, just helping to transport heavy materials is just another way robotics is being used. So I wanted to highlight that, and then want to just show you, kind of the virtual reality use I mentioned before. So this is another quick video, but I want to keep things visual. I think it's helpful for everyone, especially when we're looking at these types of tools. And anyway, you can see here, you have multiple people all across different parts, the world, looking through, the BIM model of a stadium, and they're able to point out certain things in real detail. So with the virtual reality technology, you can get into, really the weeds and the details of these models and buildings, and especially large, large buildings like stadiums. It becomes really useful. The last thing I want to mention, with ABC, I've recently put together a technology alliance, and this is a consortium of 13 different companies helping small and mid-sized contractors that help us. They're all different types of tools and technologies. Oh, I did see a question come up. Sorry. So curious about remote distance workforce. Could a safety observer, crane operator work from home using on-site cameras? Could a retiree work part-time remotely? So remote workforce, could a safety observer, crane operator work from home using on-site cameras? It's tough to say. It depends on, the short answer would be yes, but it depends on the job. It depends on what's being looked for. But if you're looking at specifically, tracking progress on a job site. So someone whose job is to track what's going on the job site, make sure everything is up to speed, that can definitely be done. So when you're talking about a safety observer, yes, there's technology to allow safety observers to work remotely now. Crane operators, I think, is a little different. I think that's tough. There is large equipment that is, that is being used, that is, unmanned vehicles, but that's kind of a different thing. Those are being used for unsafe, going into mines and using equipment for unsafe areas. And asking a question, the question, could a retiree work part-time remotely? That really depends on his skill set. It's hard to answer that. There is still a labor need in construction. So I would think the answer would be yes, but it depends on their skill sets. There is more technology out there and more opportunity than there was in the past, but it would just depend on the person. I didn't have any other questions besides that, but to just end on the alliance, we put this together as far as what, just going back to the beginning, my goal is to help impact and make our contractors more innovative. So this was a hand-selected group of companies that help our small and mid-sized contractors specifically on everything related to safety, project management, estimating, the things that are important for our contractors to win work, be more efficient, and do it safer. These were groups that we're leaning on to help us with everything from creating content, creating education, unique opportunities, beta testing for our contracting members. I see I am at the end of my time, so I apologize. I went through that really quickly. If anybody has any questions at all, please, I'm happy to answer any questions you have. My information is here. I'm happy to share these slides with anybody. And yeah, that's kind of what I got. So thank you.